Hi, my name is Kate McMahon, and thank you for joining us for this edition of What's Happening. Today, I'm joined by Anita Lord from Elder Services. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk in a little bit more detail about what you all are running out of Elder Services, free of charge this winter. But first, do you mind telling us a little bit about your role at Elder Services?
Yes, I am a part of the Senior Environment Corps, which is a group of 55 and older people who volunteer doing all types of things to protect and preserve the environment. And I'm the field work coordinator, so I'm the one that gets the volunteers to come for certain opportunities that they can help work, and I actually go out in the field and see what it is they're doing as well.
Oh, that's great.
So it really is a fun job.
Yeah,
yes.
And I know the volunteers there put in amazing numbers of hours on an annual basis.
Absolutely, and we were fortunate enough last year to have our 25th celebration of volunteers, and we awarded some volunteers that over 1,000 hours of volunteering over the years.
That's amazing.
And I'd also like to, I'm the Lower Cape coordinator, but we also have an Upper Cape coordinator that does the field work for the volunteers up in that area too.
Oh, that's
Stephanie Paventi.
Okay.
So we're in touch all the time.
That's great.
But it's a great opportunity to be here to talk about one of the things that we do.
Which we're going to talk about right now.
Oh, good.
Which is the Winter Film and Speakers Series.
Right.
Now, this is the 5th year.
Yes.
And I understand it's the last 4 years, it's gotten more and more popular. Can you tell us a little bit about why that has happened?
Well, absolutely. I think like anything from a marketing standpoint, it takes a while for people to get used to the idea that every year to expect that the Senior Environment Corps is going to put on this education series, and it's going to be free to the public, and we're going to be featuring topics of importance about the environment. So time has helped.
Absolutely.
But what has also contributed to the success is the willingness of the Cape Cod community to get behind this. We ask speakers to come. These are professional speakers to come and volunteer their time to give a presentation on a topic of particular interest. I've never had anybody refuse. And of course, they're volunteering their time. We have venues that are willing to give us their venue so that we can hold some of these presentations free of charge. So a lot of people on Cape respect the nonprofit mentality, and I'm just amazed at how generous they are to help us out.
Isn't that great? We do have a wonderful, supportive community here on the Cape.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, amazing talent, folks that are extremely educated on the environment. And we do have things that are changing on the Cape and things that need to be recognized on the Cape and outside the Cape too. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a great point to actually bring us to the series, because some of the things are specific to Cape Cod and others are either a national or worldwide problem.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we actually have a speaker presentation and a film that we give every month. The series runs January through March. So starting in January, we're going to have a speaker presentation on coastal erosion. And we all know that that is very much part of Cape Cod problem, and we have people dealing with it. And a fellow named Greg Berman, who is a coastal erosion expert, really, with the Woods Holes Sea Grant and with the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension, is going to be presenting his talk about what's going on with Cape Cod and what we can do to help mitigate the coastal erosion. So we're kicking off with him on January 10th, and that's going to be held at the Falmouth Public Library.
Great.
So if anyone wants to sign up, there's information how they can do that if they want to get in touch with our agency.
Thank you.
And then the film is that's going to be held that month is called Before the Flood, which is a documentary with Leonardo DiCaprio, who is a very strong environmental activist. And he meets with scientists throughout the world to talk about the problem of climate change and what can be done to help mitigate that problem as well.
I heard that that's wonderfully produced.
Yes. Well, we showed one of his films last year about catching the sun, and it was all about solar energy, and that was beautifully done as well. So I think that should be a good draw. And I'd like to point out that all of our films, thanks to the generosity of the Cape Cod Museum of Art, are held at that lovely little auditorium there. And a lot of people come there afterwards to kind of check out the artwork that's there too.
It is a beautiful spot.
So that's where our films will be, all of them. And then in February, we have a speaker who really started the Skip the Straw movement here on Cape Cod, a woman named Jill Talladay, who's with the Care for Cape Cod group.
She's visited us here.
Oh, she had? Okay. Well,
great campaign that she has.
Yes, it really is. And she's not going to be talking about that, but just the idea of plastic pollution and what grassroots efforts are being done to help that. And there is a lot. The more you see, the more the public becomes aware of plastic pollution through documentaries or 60 Minutes last Sunday had a huge thing on that. People are starting to then go ahead and what can we do in our towns and in our community? And things are happening, really.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And then the film that we're going to be showing in February is called Albatross. And that's about the devastation that's going on due to pollution in the water and how the albatross is not surviving and the terrible pain and suffering that it goes through. As a matter of fact, we had to put a little caution that it might be a little too brutal for young audiences. Although our series is open to the general public of all ages, or whatever. So, and then in March, we're going to have a butterfly pollinator expert, a fellow named Joe Dwelly, who's going to be speaking about pollinators on Cape Cod, what we can do to make sure that they continue to pollinate, whether it's butterflies or bees, and that's going to be held at the Brewster Ladies Library, who again always offers their time to us for free. And then in March, we're doing the film is going to be called A Thirsty World, and that's going to be about the water shortage worldwide, really, and the demands from a growing population, and there's only a limited resource.
Right.
So that I think that's of interest too to people who are interested in the environment.
Yeah.
So that's our series this year in a nutshell.
That's great. And one thing I noticed is there's a bit of a trend here, maybe with one exception, that there are things that people can take away on what they can do locally to make a difference. I mean, you mentioned it in regards to the Skip the Straw campaign, and that always helps people feel better because that's what we can impact is local.
Absolutely.
More quickly.
And there was a conscious choice in our selecting things. I would like to say really quickly though is that we had a little volunteer committee help us with the planning this year of the series. So we had a round table of what topics we thought might be of interest not only to people who care about the environment globally, but here on Cape Cod in particular, and that's where we came up with the problems about water and plastic pollution, etc. But the grassroots thing is very important, particularly because we sometimes don't get the cooperation that we need from our government about trying to stem climate change or trying to stop fossil fuel or whatever. So when you get people saying, well, okay, we'll take our own action and do that. So
it makes people feel better, more empowered too, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Was there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, just that I'm eternally grateful for the people who are willing to participate in this program out of the goodness of their hearts and come with enthusiasm and support, whether it's the speakers or the people who are hosting for us or just the Cape Cod community. And just to say, I've been in my job, I think this is my fourth year. And just to say, the people on Cape Cod who care about the environment, there's a lot of them.
Yes, there are.
A lot of them. And a lot of these retired people have expertise in fields that they're willing to share with others.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that way.
I know.
Very
so
fortunate.
I appreciate you folks helping us promote this series, and hopefully it'll be a success. And again, if anybody wants more information about what we're showing, they can contact me at the Elder Services of Cape Cod.
Great, and then we also, you will have a list or more detail on the website.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We're going to be putting the links to all these programs on our website so that anybody that wants to go in and check it out, or if somebody wants to promote it within their own group, they can click on our website and go to the links for the details.
Great, and your website is escci.org, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great.
So hopefully that'll be up by January 1st. We'll have the link put up.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Sounds like a great series, and I hope to see you at one or two of the events.
Oh, please do come, okay? And thank you for posting it on your website, too.
Absolutely. Until next time, thank you.